Hello. Hi everyone. Welcome to Selenium Python training program. Today we are going to discuss about data driven testing. So what exactly this data driven testing means? Accessing the data from an external files. Assume that you are working on an application which needs a huge amount of data to work on the application. In such situations, we can define the huge amount of data within a program. In those cases, we will be defining our data in an Excel files and we can get the data using certain mechanism and we can use the data within our program. This we can call it as data driven testing. Ultimately, having the data in an external files and accessing the data in our program, we can call it as a data driven testing. In Python, the data driven testing or accessing the data from Excel will be achieved using XLRD module. One can retrieve the information from a spreadsheet. So we have to install this module. Hence, I am opening my command prompt and pip install XLRD. Let me cross check this name here. Pip install XLRD. Let it install. So after few seconds, collecting the XLRD, downloading and installing, successfully install this XLRD package to your machine. Now what I'm doing right now means go to your Python editor and let me create a new Python file. So here, new Python file demo 35, and here if you observe the steps, first of all we need to create a Excel file. So here I'm creating an Excel and I'm defining uname, password, uname1, password1, and a uname2 and a password2. Like that, assume that we have these many rows of data here, 10 rows of data here in this file, and I'm saving this file to my desktop, or yeah, to my desktop Selenium Python, and here I'm giving a name as data driven. Okay, data driven Excel workbook, and I saved this file. So once after we saved this file, if you observe, you need to import this package in your program to use it. So go to PyCharm, import XLRD, right? That's what we have downloaded. Let me mouse over on that. Install the packages XLRD. Okay, automatically we can import it. That's fine. So once after we have imported this XLRD package to your test script, and then we need to specify the file location. See here, the location of the file you need to store. So here what I'm doing means location is equal to where I have stored my file. I stored my file on my desktop and under Selenium under Python data driven. So this is what my location is. I update my location here, and we know that we should give this a forward slash here, not the backslash. I'm just updating all the slashes in my test script. Along with, we need to specify the file name, which is the data driven, and the file is .xlsx. That's it. We have specified the file. So once after you have specified the file, you need to create an object which is opening the workbook. So here, what we need to use is xlrd dot open workbook of the above file. Whatever the above file is there, open that particular workbook and get that complete information in a WB. So WB is a workbook which holds the complete file. In that file, there may be a possibility to have a multiple sheets, and our data is in a sheet 1 itself. Now, from that workbook, you need to specify in which sheet our data is. WB dot get sheet, and we need to specify the sheet number, or here we do have a multiple methods. Let's see, WB dot get sheet. Okay, we have a get sheets, which is a multiple method, get sheet, and the number of the sheet is a 0. I'm giving my index as a 0, which is representing the first sheet, and I'm storing the complete sheet information in an S instance. Okay, or I can give a name as full name sheet S. Now sheet dot get, this time I need to get the cell data. So sheet dot cell, and I can specify 0 comma 0 dot value. Okay, sheet dot cell value. Okay, sheet dot cell row XLS 0 comma 0 dot value. Okay, and I'm storing it in a p1 equal to print p1. Let me run my scenario and see whether it is failing or passing. See here, self list index out of range, and the get sheet line number 6 we are having the issue. Which line? This get sheet, we are having an issue with the get sheet. Let us see this issue. So let me cross check here. Seems like I have used a wrong method. So let me cross sync and the sheet by index. So the method I have to use is sheet by index, and the index is 0th, which is going to be the first sheet, and 0 comma 0. See, whenever I am using sheet dot cell, it is accepting a row number and a column number, and usually the rows and the columns will start with a 0. When I run my test script, I'm getting this uname information here. For suppose if I change it to 1 comma 0, and when I run my test script, the uname 1, and again when I run it to 2 comma 0, it's capturing the different information. So here the first parameter is representing the row, and second parameter is representing the column, using which we can get the information from an Excel file. Good enough. Done the deal. Okay. On top of this one, now I just need to get the total number of rows are there in the sheet. So let us see sheet dot n rows is representing the total number of rows. The same way sheet dot n columns is representing the number of columns. So print n rows, and the same way print n columns. When I run my script, I know my sheet is having a two different columns and 11 rows are there. When my script got executed, 11 rows and two columns got printed to the console. The similar way, for suppose if I need to get the complete row information, so I want to get this whole row information. In such situations, we can use a simple for loop on a browser. Let us see that. So let's switch back to the editor. For I in range of, so I would like to go with sheet dot n rows. I want to run it on all the rows, and here copy these two lines and paste it here. So here this should be I, and this should be P2, and this should be P2. See here, the row number is changing dynamically. Whenever the for loop is rotating, it will be rotating on all the rows. So when I run my test script, see this time all the row numbers got printed to the console. Okay, so this loop is rotating on all the rows, and here I'm changing the row value as a dynamic parameter I. Automatically it will be capturing and printing all the rows to the console. So this is the way how can we get the data in a test script or from an external file. Now what I want to do right now is I just want to derive a new scenario. This scenario is whatever the data we are capturing here, instead of printing to the console, I want to enter it to the bing.com search field. So here I am opening my previous test scripts, whatever we have created. Copy the first few lines of the program and paste it here on top of it. Okay, copy the first few lines of the program and paste it here. Okay, and then the first two lines, open the browser, and this line is entering a value. I would like to use this line here, and instead of entering this value, I want to enter P2. Whatever the P2 is capturing, enter that P2. On top of my test script, I would like to maximize my browser driver dot. Oh, it's not imported successfully, guys. Usually, whenever we use a driver dot, we need to get the various methods, right? I'm not getting my methods. Let me go back and imports and update my imports here. And now driver dot, so here maximize window. See here what I'm doing means the first three lines are maximizing the browser, and the below lines are establishing a connection with an Excel file, and then we are retrieving all the rows from the Excel file in the this loop. What additionally we are doing means after it captured the value, we are just using a send keys command. Now, at the end of the program, we need to use these two lines, which will be terminating the browser too. Okay, that's fine. Let me run my test script and see this time whether it is entering the data to the bing.com or not. So here on the text field, it should enter. But what it's going to do now means, say all the values got appended one after another. It doesn't looks good for me. So before using any send keys command, I can use a clear command, which will be clearing the value from that field. And after entering the value, time dot sleep for 1 second. So after entering a value, wait for 1 second. Now, when I run my test script, first it will clear the field, then it will enter the value, then it will wait for few seconds. Let us see here how this is going to work. See, it entered, it's deleting, it's waiting for some time, and it's deleting. Like this, it's going to perform certain operations on a browser. This is the way how can we use the data-driven testing in the automation. Okay, cool. That's all I have, guys. Thank you.